Hello, guys. I welcome you all specially to this our YouTube channel. My name is Frank Yama. I'm a digital content creator, and you are welcome specifically and specially to this broadcast titled "Power to Get Wet." And it is our wish, it is our desire that at the end of or you listening to this broadcast, there should be something that you can actually take from it that we hope that will impact your life meaningfully. Now, this broadcast that we'll be having today is just 15 minutes. It's titled "The Power to Get Wet." Now, you might be wondering, why do we come up with this and all that? Well, our broadcast will cover a whole lot of things that have to do with our human daily endeavor, whether it's politics, religion, wealth, businesses, health, fitness, anything you can think of, religion, history, government, all of those we cover them. And our broadcast run from Monday to Friday. So whenever you're on our channel, whenever you subscribe to our channel, Monday to Friday, you will surely be getting some broadcasts from us that cut across every sphere of your life. However, for today specifically, we will be dwelling on the power to get wealth. Um, there's a little part of religion that is added to it, or there's a spiritual backup to whatever we'll be discussing today. The fact still remains, the power to get wealth applies across all boards, irrespective of your religion. However, for the fact that I'm a Christian, I'll be having some scriptural backup along with our discussion. So, regardless, that will not stop you whether you are a Muslim or you are a Christian. You can apply the same principle. Wealth does not belong to a particular religion. So it's an individuality, it's a personality. So, however, for the sake of this video, we'll be working with some scriptural or biblical scriptures to actually back up what we will be discussing on this broadcast. One thing you must understand is that there is a difference between wealth and riches. And if you actually want to operate on that class of the wealthy, the rich are basically people who can, on a daily basis, afford the basic need for themselves. For the poor person, his desire is to be rich, just to afford the basic things for themselves. But there's a saying that human wants are insatiable. Believe me, I tell you, by the time you become rich, you desire to become wealthy. That is just how life works. When you are looking for 10 naira today, by the time you see 20 naira, you will be looking for 15 naira. That is just it. You might be, for example, maybe you have a TV subscription. Maybe your salary is 50,000 and your subscription is just maybe 5,000. Trust me, by the time you have 1 million in a month, then you will realize that your subscription for that 3,000 is not too small. You will begin to look at how to have a higher subscription. So that is just how it is. Now, this wealth that we are talking about, when you are on the class of the wealthy, it means that you can afford. You can no longer buy things. You can afford things. There is a difference between buying. There is a difference between affordability. That is another topic for another day. So now, this wealth for the rich man is the one that is able to afford his basic things, his daily need, what he needs. You can get it. Maybe you are able to buy one car. Maybe you are a civil servant. You are able to build a duplex. You are able to train your children in the public universities and all that. But when you talk about the wealthy, to be wealthy, it therefore means you are talking about when you are able to afford mansions of estates across the nations of the earth. When you have conglomerate of companies, when you have, when the wealthy, there are some pieces that you will see when you hear the top 10 richest men in the world, top 10 richest men in Africa, top 10 richest men in Nigeria. So to be on this class of the wealthy, it requires a whole different application. However, it is people that are getting wealthy. You too, you can get the wealth. The people that are wealthy, they do not have to head. They were not born specially. They were not created specially. So it's a matter of what you know. It's a matter of applying what you know in order for you to be able to access this wealth. Now, we title this power to get wealth. We've explained the wealth part. We are trying to look at the power now to get wealth. What are these power to get wealth? The truth is, to actually be on the class of the wealthy, it's difficult. It's a bit difficult, and most times people tend to take the negative part. That is a fact. If you are a civil servant, you are working, or maybe you have a small business, for you to be a genuine business that there are no dishonorable things, for you to be making millions and billions of it will be very difficult. That is just the fact. For I can tell you that 8 out of 10 wealthy people, when you go and find out the real details of the source of the wealth, you will see that maybe there are some dishonorable things that you have to put your hand to do. Maybe you are in government, there's a place you are stealing money. Maybe you have political influence where some other businesses will be subdued just for your own alone to grow. Or maybe you are into drugs, you are running drugs cartel. But there are dishonorable things that you have to do to be in that class of the wealthy. If you really want to live above the rich, that you want to be in the class of the wealthy, most of the time when you look at the core billionaire, even the billionaires in the world, you will see there are a lot of dishonorable things that they will do that you will not know. Nobody will know. But however, the good news is that particular dishonorable thing is a different power of his own to get wealth. The power that we'll be talking about today to get this wealth is the power of God, that call from God. You must go spiritual for you to become wealthy. So it not depends on the type of spirituality that you want to go into, whether it is a godly or it is a worldly. And that worldly is the one that I've explained, that you have to, maybe you are in government, you have to compromise, a contract, all those things, you compromise and there are a lot of wealth. Or you take the road of God, the godly way. And most times people tend not to go through this route because maybe they felt this route is maybe it will take a longer time, bit stressful, bit difficult and all that, but it's just normal. However, it is doable. On the spiritual side of God, you can actually get wealth. And like I said from the beginning, that we will be backing some of our discussion with some spiritual backing. You can see what we'll have. You will have Deuteronomy 8, verse 18. He said, "But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth the power to get wealth." I think that is very explanatory. But what should be your center focus now? What is now this power to get this wealth? What does this power entails? What makes up this power? But God has said it, that it is he that will give you power to get wealth. So when you remember God, so instead of praying, "God, give me 1 billion, give me 2 billion," rather you tell God, "Give me this power to get this wealth." Pray to God, "God, give me the power to get this wealth." Now, your focus now should not be, what is now this power? What does this power involve? What does it entail? We will be looking at that. Okay, you can see the power to make wealth. The power to make wealth that God will give you here refers to ideas, grace, and mercy. So this is the power. This is what the power that God will give you. The ideas, the grace, the mercy. These are the 3 things you actually need to create or to have wealth. You don't pray to God, "God, give me 1 billion. God will not throw the 1 billion from heaven and come and drop it for you. No. But if you pray for the power, when you pray for the ideas, when you pray for his mercy, when you pray for his grace, and when they are sufficient for you, you will get that wealth. The truth is, there are still people who do not have to go through the dishonorable route to become wealthy, to be in the class of the wealthy, but just that they are few. Most people tend to go through the other route to do all sorts of things and be in the class of the wealthy. Now, we'll be taking them one by one. We have ideas, we have grace, we have mercy. Okay, the first one is ideas. Let's look at what idea means. Let me zoom out so you can see. Okay? Ideas will bring about your natural God-given talent, seeking to have a skill, doing what no one has done before, having a good or a service to render. These are all the works of your hand that you will present to God for Him to bless. Now, he said, ideas will bring about your natural God-given talent. For every billionaire that is in this world today, they did not become billionaires because they were working the conventional work of 8 9 to 4 to 5 p.m. No, you cannot get wealth through that way. There is always an idea to sell to people. Those people, they have an idea, whether in the banking sector, whether you talk about the likes of Bill Gates who came up with the Microsoft, whether you talk about the like of Jeff Bezos who came up with the Amazon, Elon Musk who came up with the Starlink, his cars, and all that. But there must be an idea. It is this idea that God will bless. It is this idea that God can bless you, that you can become a billionaire. When you want to become wealthy, we are talking about wealth. We are not talking about riches. When you are rich, you are able to buy. When you are wealthy, you are able to afford. And like I said, afford and buying, affordability and buying, that will have a separate class for that. Now, we said ideas will bring about your natural God-given talent. How do you identify this idea when God has given them unto you? You must know who you are. There's a particular philosopher that said an unexamined life is not worth living. By the time you're up to 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 and above, you should know what is the natural gift that God has given unto you. Are you a musician? Are you convinced within yourself that you know that you can sing? Do you have this leadership quality, this ability that you know that if you work on it and you begin to monetize it, people will seek for it? Now, these are ideas. So you must know within yourself who you are. What is that one thing that you know that you are good at? What is that one thing that you know that when you monetize it, when you publicize it, people will know and people will take part of it? So you must know that. The next one, it says seeking to have a skill. You must always seek to get a skill. There are different skills. Now this is a digital era. You seek for digital skills and all that, what you can market, what you can digitalize for that can bring about the solution to people's problem. So you must seek to know all these things, doing what no one has done before. You look at your area where you live, in your community, in your association, in your organization, in your union, there might be something mixing. In your environment, in your family, there might be something mixing. You look at it, there might be a disconnect. You try to fix that disconnect. You try to provide a solution to that problem. And that becomes an idea. Having a good or a service which is similar to the explanation I just gave. There are places you live, maybe you just come and you know that, okay, this thing ought to be of high demand, but this thing is not available and such. So there must be something. Now, these are all part of the ideas. Why it is good for you to pray for God to give you power to get wealth, to pray for these ideas, so that these ideas are now what you can present to God. Because God said He will bless all the works of your hand. And if you look at Deuteronomy 28, verse 12, He said, the Lord shall open unto thee His good treasure, the heaven to give rain unto thy land in His season, to bless all the works of thy hand. So by the time you have a natural God-given talent, by the time you have a skill, by the time you have a good or a service that you are presenting to God, God will definitely bless it because He has said that He will bless it. So that is the part of idea. So let's look at, we're not talking about grace. Remember, we are talking about ideas, grace, and mercy. And here we say, grace. It is the grace of God that will help you to achieve all your ideas, even in the midst of difficulties. Because certainly, there will be challenging moments when trying to actualize your ideas. I think this is very well self-explanatory. There are times, even as you are listening to this broadcast, there are things that you have been doing or you have put in your effort, your energy, your time, and maybe the result is not forthcoming. At some point, you might feel, tired, reluctant, and not. It's normal. We are all human beings. So long as blood flows in your vein, there are times that when your expectations are not coming, you definitely you will have that kind of a feeling that, am I actually doing this right? Am I doing that right? But then you must hold on to it. That is where you will now pray for that grace. So that grace now is still not part of the power. That is where you will now pray for that grace. In Psalm 127 verse 1, he said, except the Lord build a city, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman wicked but in vain. So if you decide on your own, you want to do this, you want to do that, you want without the grace of God in it, sometimes it becomes difficult. There are times you try to do some certain things and no way. The whole situation just become so complex, so you cannot even understand the whole ideas and all that. All you will just need is that voice, that voice of reassurance. So that is also the power of words. The grace is part of the power to get word. That is the power that God will give to you. So it's the right application that is important. Now let's look at mercy. Remember, we are talking about ideas, grace, and mercy. Now, this is mercy. The mercies of the Lord will bring into perfection the idea that you have, be it more or imperfected. The mercies of the Lord upon your idea will make you not struggle too much before you get the desire of the works of your hand. Now, this is where the mercies come. When the mercies of God comes upon you, it doesn't matter what you have, whether it is big, whether it is small, whether it is qualified. The mercies of God will just bring about perfection. So that is why the mercies of God is also very important in any of these things. That is why there are, maybe I can assure you, I don't know wherever you are watching this broadcast from. I'm in Nigeria, but I can assure you there are people I know who sings better than a lot of the musicians that we have today that we are celebrating. But that is mercy. That is where the mercy comes in. Because the mercies of God has been upon these people, have been upon whatever they have been doing. So these are the things that you must look out for. And just to add more to that message, look at our last part. Okay, a look at how the message of the Lord has come upon the handwork of men, that there was blessings overflow. And we'll be looking at some biblical events. I took one biblical event. If you can read from Luke chapter 5, verse 4 to verse 7. And he said, when he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, this is Jesus speaking, put out into the deep and let down the net for a catch. Simon answered, Master, we have worked hard all night. I haven't caught anything. But because you said so, I will let down the net. When he had done so, they caught such a large number of fish that their net began to break. This is blessing overflow. I put that. So they signaled their partners in the other boat to come and help them, and they came and filled both boats so full that they began to sink. So you can see Simon was a fisherman. In the night they have toiled, they have worked hard, and for people that the little I know about fishing, it is in the night that is where the fish, that is where you can actually find them in the river, because in the daytime it's difficult to find fish. Now these people have worked all night and there was no catch. So also it is in your practical daily life. Maybe you have struggled, you have done all things and all that, but just hold on. Because when Jesus now came, he said, Simon, cast that net into the deep. That is, he just told him, try again. That is why you must never give. But he said, try this. Simon said, we have toiled all night, but at the word. Now there was an obedience to the word. So when he obeyed the word, the Bible said that he caught so much that even his net began to break, that he even had to call people, that those ones, they fished their boat say even began to sink. Now that is blessing overflow. That is joy overflow. Now it doesn't matter whether the net that they have in there was small or big. It doesn't matter whether the boat they have was big or was small, or the things that, or whether they were worthy or they were qualified, but the mercies of the Lord supersede all that and brought joy and brought blessing overflow. Now, you can see there is something. So for you to be on this class of the world where you will enjoy abundance of wealth, there must be something that you have to work on. All the miracles, when you look at all the miracles of Jesus Christ in the Bible, there is always something. Even when he changed water into wine, he could have just perform a miracle and let wine comes out. But he asked, he said, go and bring what you have. What do you have? And they say 5 loaves and whatever. And he blesses them. He gives thanks and he blesses them. It has always been like that. There must be something. Even David, when he came against the mighty Goliath, it's not that he cannot just come with his bare hand, but he ensured that he had a little stone in his hand. Now the message of God came upon that stone, and that stone became a mighty weapon. So that is why there must be something that you must have, that you must present to God. In conclusion, for you to attract real wealth, you must present something for God to use mightily. It's just like as a parent, you have 2 children. One will come, daddy, give me 1,000. Another will come, daddy, okay, I have this, look at what I'm working on. Please give me this 1,000 to go and finish it up. And when you look at what your son, when you look at what that one is doing, you know that this is right. And you look at the one that has nothing doing, but he just came and said, give me 1,000. There's that natural way to give to the one who has something. That is how also it is. To access this real wealth of God, there must be something that you must have, that you must present. So today I want to reawaken your consciousness, your thinking, that it's never too late. Now it is the time. Get up. Think about what you can do. Look at your environment. What can you do? What skills can you learn? What skills can you learn that you can monetize to teach people, to change people's life, that can provide the solutions to people? Think about that. What has God given to you? What is that natural gift that God has given to you? If you have never examined that before, today, as you are listening to this broadcast, I charge you to examine that. Find out by yourself. What do I have in me? What am I good at? What am I good at that if I can present this, if I can monetize it, that people would like to partake in it? It might just be speaking. That people are being paid just to come and speak, and they are making good money from it. So there must be an idea. So today, instead of you to pray, God give me wealth, pray that God give me the power to get wealth. Now that power, as we have explained, comes with idea, with grace, and with mercy. So that is that for this broadcast. Like I said, my name is Frank Iyama. I'm a digital content creator. If you enjoy this video, if you like this video, simply or kindly click on the like button. You can drop a comment. You subscribe to our YouTube channel. Most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share with your family and friends as well. If you enjoyed it and you feel that you wanted to also watch it, share with your family and friends. Tell them to also subscribe to the channel so that they can always have receive our update from Monday to Friday. We always have different broadcasts that cut across every sphere of our daily life, whether it's politics, whether it's religion, whether it's business, whether it's relationship, whether it's marriage, whether it's traveling, anything. We drop them Monday to Friday. So kindly click on the subscribe button, subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you'll be getting more updates from us from Monday to Friday. Thank you all and remain blessed.